They said the river had a spirit in it, a woman with emerald eyes and skin like sunlight on water. But no one believed it until the day Ali the fisherman disappeared. The same Ali who once had a wife, a child, and laughter in his voice. They say something came out of the river for him. Something ancient. Something hungry. Ali had always been a man who belonged to the sea and silence. He rose before dawn, muscles rippling with every cast of his net, his eyes sharp, steady. Women in the village watched him with shy smiles, but his heart had long belonged to his wife and son. Or at least, that's how the story began, before the water took him. Or rather, before she did. She had watched him for weeks, hidden just beneath the river's surface, emerald eyes flickering like twin stars beneath the water. Her name was Mimi, born of scale and magic, a Naga from the sacred depths where light did not reach. She wasn't meant to love a human, wasn't meant to desire one. But desire knows nothing of rules, especially not the rules of monsters. She first saw him when his laughter echoed across the water, that sound carved into her like a blade. She watched his hands work, the way his body moved, the way he bent to kiss his son's forehead. It made her ache with something terrible. The ache grew, became obsession, became hunger. One moonless night, she rose from the river. Her body shimmered as it shed its serpent form. Scales dissolved into smooth, golden brown skin, her powerful tail splitting into two long, perfect legs. Her fangs retracted, her eyes softened into something almost human, but not quite. Her beauty was so sharp it could wound. She found his hut with unnatural ease. The moon cast silver over the rooftop where Ali's son had left a wooden toy. She heard laughter through the walls, his wife's gentle voice, the child's sleepy giggle. That sound made her eyes narrow. They were in her way. Inside, Ali stirred in his sleep, a whisper threading through the air like wind through tall grass. Ali! He awoke to darkness. A scent, earthy, metallic, crept into his lungs. He turned to wake his wife, but her skin was cold. Her breath was gone. His son, lifeless beside her. He staggered back, panic rising in his throat. Then he saw her, a woman cloaked in white, standing at the doorway. Her skin glowed faintly. Her hair fell down her back like wet silk. And her eyes, those eyes, emerald, impossible. He should have screamed. He should have fled. But the moment she touched his cheek, the grief dissolved. His memory, once sharp, turned soft. He didn't remember his wife's laughter. Didn't remember his child's face. Only her voice, whispering like a lullaby. Only her eyes. Come, she said. You were always mine. By morning, the village wept for Ali. But he didn't mourn. He walked the shore with his new bride beside him. Her hand in his face smooth, his eyes vacant and content. Life with a human wasn't as simple as Mimi thought. The magic could cloud his memories, bend his will, but not change his nature. Ali still slept like a man, stretched on a bed in the middle of the hut, but she couldn't lie beside him for long. Each night, when the air turned cool, her body longed for dark corners, where she could coil and curl, wrapped in shadows. Ali would wake to find her crouched in the corner, her body shivering, her skin slick. He'd ask questions, gently at first, then more urgently. She would laugh it off. Say she was strange. Say she liked the cold. And he, caught in her spell, would nod, though his eyes darkened with worry. She couldn't cook his food. Couldn't bear the heat of fire. The smell of oil made her gag. But every night she served him meals fit for royalty, fish spiced and grilled, soups rich with herbs no one in the market had seen, fruits that glowed like jewels. He never asked where it came from. He only ate, saying, "You're a miracle, Mimi." But the villagers watched her, whispered. She doesn't buy food, they said. She doesn't cook. But he eats like a chief. She doesn't sweat in the sun. Her skin, it glistens too much. Her skin did glisten, like polished stone. And her eyes, they never blinked quite right. The women stopped greeting her in the market. Children hid behind their mothers. Yet Mimi smiled through it all, because she had Ali. But her body had begun to betray her. It started with an itch, barely noticeable. Then worse, sharp, hot, relentless. Her skin began to flake. She saw the signs. The time had come to shed, to become her true self once again. But it was the same day as her wedding. The village had insisted, there must be a proper celebration. A public vow. A blessing before gods. She had agreed, wanting to lock him to her forever. The drums beat loud. The women danced in bright wrappers. Ali stood waiting, dressed in fine white cloth, a carved staff in his hand. His smile reached no one. She walked toward him in her finest white, face like a carved statue. But inside her body raged, a fire beneath her skin. The itching had become unbearable. She could feel the serpent beneath the mask, clawing its way out. She smiled, bowed her head, took his hands. The priest began the words. But then a sharp rip sounded through the crowd. She looked down, her palm, splitting. The whispers came like rain. Another rip. Her shoulder, her back, her face. Patches of emerald shone through the peeling skin. Her breath came in gasps. She stumbled back, clawed at herself. "No," she whispered. The crowd screamed. Her dress split down her spine. Her tail coiled beneath the folds. Her pupils narrowed to slits. Her voice, once soft, cracked into a hiss. Allah's face, pure horror. "What are you?" She reached for him, tears streaming down her strange face. "It's still me, Ali." "No," he shouted, backing away, dropping the staff. He turned and ran. And just like that, the spell broke. His memories returned. His wife, his son, the blood, the empty bed. His scream echoed through the trees as he vanished into the forest. Mimi fell to her knees. The crowd parted around her, frozen in terror. She turned, fled, her coils dragging through the dirt. Into the forest, into the shadows, back to the water. The river welcomed her like a mother welcomes a broken child. And from the depths came the voice she feared. "You were warned." Mama Naga, the goddess of the deep. Her body rose from the current, ancient and vast, crowned in riverweed, eyes glowing like stormlight. Mimi fell before her, trembling. "I loved him." "You took him," the goddess hissed. "You killed for him, and you wore your lie like a crown." "I was made to love," Mimi cried. "Why else would I feel it?" The goddess stared. For a moment, there was silence. Then, "Even serpents can love. But you forgot what we are." Mimi bowed her head. Her reflection shimmered in the river, no longer a woman, no longer a wife. A creature of beauty and curse. The villagers never saw her again. Some say she lives in the shadows by the river, weeping under the moonlight. Others say she waits for another man foolish enough to cast his net too deep. But Ali, he never returned to the water. His hut remains empty, his boat abandoned. And when the wind is just right, when the river is quiet, you might hear her voice echo through the reeds. Ali.
We'd like to hear from you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories. We post once a week. See you next time.